Hey guys, so we finally have some really nice weather and I'm outside to mainly test two things. First, these Flywoo 1404 NIN motors, 4850 kV, and second, this new FreeSky X-Lite S, with which I have coupled these two 3-inch toothpicks. But let's start with the motors. So a while ago I built this 3-inch toothpick. The frame is the Sanchez, my own design. It's a 7.5 gram 3-inch frame, and I use these really big 1404 motors, which was a recommendation of Kebab FPV on Facebook, and they work really well. So this big stator combined with this very light frame was something that was at the same time very much in control, extremely fast, but also very efficient if I didn't give it too much throttle. But the choice of 1304 or 1404 motors in that size range was really limited just a few months ago. So basically there was only the RCX 1304 and these 1404 DYS motors. So I choose this one on 6000 kV, and 6000 kV is slightly unfortunate because this is somewhere between what you would want for 3S and 2S. So this on 2S it's a bit it's like slightly underpowered. On 3S it's totally insane. And the board is in here I have a Gap RC12 amp all-in-one board. So this handled the amps without any issue. The limiting factor were these. So the 650 milliamp hour 3S batteries, they are rather small for the amp draw, so these pull around 35 amps on full throttle with these twin blades on 6000 kV 1404. That's just quite a lot for the small batteries. So they really start to sag. You get low voltage warnings right from like pretty much a few seconds after starting if you do hard punch outs. So my assumption was that probably the KV is just a little high. And now finally Flywoo and also iFlight with the Xing motors came out with new 1404 options, and this is what I have here. Instead of just swapping the motors, I decided to do an all new build so I can compare them side by side and get a good feeling of what works best. So what I have here is the same Sanchez frame with my updated canopy. This saves a bit of weight. This thing is the same weight as this one. They are both around 75 grams. This has the Beta FPV board. It's got the all-new eSheen 400 milliwatt VTX, and the receiver is a FreeSky XM. But back to the motors. These are really pretty. I love how they look. The Flywoo, and these are 4850 kV. I mean, so roughly 5000. And I suppose that this could be what works best on 3S. I mean, I could try this on 4S, but I don't have a battery that's got the right size for the moment. And I think, honestly, 3S will be more than enough. And you will not run into any danger of breaking your board, because running this on 4S that will really push this all-in-one board to the limits. So I think 3S will be the best compromise between reliability, flight times and power. So build quality of these motors looks extremely good. They are very notchy, especially compared to the DYS, which are way more smoother. So stronger magnets, and also the magnets look a bit thicker, and I love this polished look here. Another advantage is they fit these really nice Emax 3-inch Avon props, while on the DYS this just doesn't fit over the bell, so you're restricted to these pretty old props. So I can use these more up-to-date 3-inch props here. So overall, my first impression and what I can tell of the build quality of these motors is extremely good. They come with quite thick 24 gauge wire, which I mean that's quite big, and it wasn't easy to solder this to the all-in-one board, which has very tiny soldering pads, but they are quite soft. This is quite soft silicone, so it wasn't too much of an issue. You just have to be, I mean, this is not something a beginner should build. you have to have some decent soldering skills and a lot of patience to build this. But enough of the talking. Let's give these two some test flights, and I hope this isn't gonna mess up my flying too much, but this will be the first time I try this new FreeSky X-Lite S, and I'm pinching, so, and many people say that pinching actually quite sucks on this radio, but let's see. I will just try it out with these two builds, and I hope that my assumption that the KV here perfectly fits for 3S will prove to be right.
Alright, so first thing I realized is that even though these motors in theory have lower kV, it didn't feel like they are actually less aggressive than the DYS. I assume that this is because they have stronger magnets, which probably then results in pretty much the same performance as the weaker magnets and the higher kV. That's my theory here. In terms of amp draw and overall speed, they are very, very similar to the DYS, although I think they have clearly the better build quality overall. You can see here in my DVR here, I displayed the throttle percentage. So as you can see, I'm cruising around at between 20 and 30% throttle most of the time. And this thing is crazy fast. So I still have way more power than I can use or than I need. And still, you can see the first battery warnings here, although the voltage meter wasn't set up right, so these are a bit premature, but it was still draining the batteries like crazy when going to higher throttle regions. So you can see the battery warnings pop up here. So the 650 milliamp hour 3S still is the bottleneck here, and I couldn't really solve this problem with the lower kV motors, but still, if you don't use all of the power all the time, so now I'm crashing, this is still a really, really fun thing to fly. Here's some more footage where I actually go to 100% throttle right now. So as you can see, low battery warning instantly. Although I was already flying here for 1.5 minutes, but still, obviously, the amp draw on full throttle here with this setup is not sustainable for a 650 3S, which is a pity, and kind of limiting what you can do and how you need to manage your throttle. But still, since it's so fast already in the 20 to 30 or 40% throttle regions, you don't need to actually go up to higher throttle regions that often. You're still way faster than you usually need, especially if you don't have a wide open space, and this here still was a quite big space to fly for a Toothpick.
Alright, time for some conclusions. So the Avens, although they look really great, were an epic fail on this setup. They are just way too aggressive and these motors are way too strong, so I immediately had a fly off on stock pits and had to reduce them by 30% to make this thing even remotely flyable. So these are too aggressive. Even when I had it flying, they just drained the battery. They are way too aggressive for this setup with the 1404 motors, and always the bottleneck is always the battery. So it flew fine on the Avens. I'm not saying these props are bad, and indeed they are really quiet and flew very well on 2S. On 2S it was fine, it wasn't too aggressive. On 2S they just didn't make any noise at all, so it was quieter than a whoop. But on 3S it was way too much on these 4850 kV. So I went on and tried these Gemfan biblades. These are 3025. They perform very well and feel really good in the air. Could fly on stock pits again, although I think it would have still needed some tuning. But I just had crazy jello with those. Felt really unbalanced, had vibrations, jello. So I moved on to another Gemfan prop, the 3035, and this one is my favorite so far, next to this, what I have here next to this HQ prop, the T3x3x3. So both are very non-aggressive 3-inch props, and both worked pretty well. Almost perfect on stock pits, although I think they would need a bit of tuning to really make it perfect. But these low pitch 3-inch props, these worked best. The battery, a 650 3S, was just enough to supply the amps this setup needs, because with these motors, even though they are slightly lower kV than the DYS here I had on the other build, they pretty much seem to be similar in power, because I assume that is because they have way stronger magnets. So although the kV are lower, this thing is still crazy fast. So I can get top speeds and acceleration that is really in the region of a 5-inch quad. It's just that the battery technology isn't there to sustain this as long as in a 5-inch. So you can have a crazy punch out, you can be really fast for just a short time, because after that you just drain the batteries. And as I said, these are at the moment the bottleneck. I don't know if it makes sense to go to anything bigger, like 850 or 750. I might try this, but I don't know if I want to get this this build any heavier. But in terms of battery performance, it might improve it a lot. So I will probably try it. Something in the 850 range on this setup. The all-up weight still should be quite low for a 3-inch, so way below 250 grams all-up weight. Flight times, so I realized that the voltage meter and current sensor isn't set up properly by default. So in the manual of the BTFPV board, they give you some values, and these were slightly off, so I landed the batteries with around 40% left in them, which is a bit too much. And on the way to these 40%, got a ton of low battery warnings. So I will have to adjust that, and yeah, I think that's all. Oh yeah, flight times. I mean, I got like 2 or 3 minutes flying really quite fast. So if I would chill around, I mean, 4 minutes shouldn't be any issue with this. But I have to admit, it's really hard to fly this slow, because it just is so much fun to rip around. So yeah, overall, super happy with these motors. Can only recommend those, and I will continue testing stuff and improving, and I hope you find these videos useful. The frame here, the Sanchez frame, of course, is on Thingiverse. You can simply download it and send this to any CNC service of your choice and have one cut. It's pretty cheap, actually. Most of them will charge you around $15, but I have links to a few services I recommend in the Thingiverse post and all that stuff. So yep, thanks for watching, guys. As always, if you have any comments or questions, just leave them below. So thanks for watching.